So today we're reviewing
Barbie.
Barbie is a movie that came out a few weeks ago. This is not a movie I was ever planning on seeing, but I heard some things good and bad about this movie. I really did not know what to think. I had really low expectations going into this movie, but Jake, we ended up seeing it.
Yeah.
What are your initial thoughts?
I mean, it's been a roller coaster of a night here. I mean, originally when they first announced it, I'm like, oh, I'm seeing this 100%. And then I heard some things from reviewers that we trust, and just I was hearing some bad things about it. And I'm like, you know what? This is a movie that I can pass and just go see some other movies, because there's been a lot of movies coming out here recently with Talk to Me and the ones we've done before. But Kenny made a good point, and we were talking about it. And like, you know what? If we're gonna make comments on this, we need to actually see it ourselves, to actually have a valid opinion on it. And I am pleasantly surprised and happy that I went to go see this movie tonight. And it's as you'll see with the score later on, this is one of the hardest movies that I've had to review in our time doing these reviews on this channel, as I'll try to articulate here without spoiling anything. But I will say I walked out of the theater much, much, much happier than I thought I would.
Yeah, absolutely. This movie, I did not expect to be happy walking out of this movie. My initial thoughts, this is really going to be the most difficult movie to ever review, because I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and I did not expect that for what I was hearing. I saw a good review before I went in. I knew to expect some BS at certain points, but honestly, this movie totally, I think, just makes fun of everything and everyone.
Yeah.
It makes fun of extreme sides, and I think this is a really enjoyable movie. I had a great time in this movie, and I can say that. Now, there's negatives. There's things I don't like, but why don't we go into our positives with Barbie?
Positives right away. The character that steals this movie is Ken, played by Ryan Gosling. The performance he gave this movie was up there as one of the best of the year. He completely got into the role, and the way that they played that character and his storyline in this movie was done extremely well, and was just absolutely hilarious. I haven't laughed this hard in the theater. I can't think of the last time, maybe since La Llorona, when we saw a girl fly midair through a room. It's been a while since I've laughed that hard during a movie, and he did an amazing job, and all the Kens did a great job. But that's the number one positive for me. The musical scenes in this movie were done really, really well too. There was a couple songs that were really, really. There was one song in particular that was great. Outside of that, I mean, Margot Robbie. I definitely enjoyed her time on the screen. Margot Robbie did a good job as Barbie. She looked like Barbie. Ryan Gosling as Ken.
Margot Robbie is a beautiful woman.
Margot Robbie portrayed the character how I would envision Barbie in the real world. And yeah, that's probably it.
So, positives for this movie is the main characters. I mean, you don't have to say many things to get me to want to go see a Margot Robbie movie. No, but Margot Robbie as Barbie is amazing, and Ryan Gosling as Ken is amazing, not just because he has my name, but Ken is flipping amazing in this movie. I mean, and the actor for Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's
Shang-Chi actor.
Yeah, the main actor for Shang-Chi. But those three characters are flipping phenomenal. And the positives I found, somehow the action was a positive in a Barbie movie. The action in certain scenes was amazing. For one battle scene in particular, the comedy, the way they play on. Honestly, I don't know how this movie really what they intended, but I think you're getting a lot of different reactions from fans. When I go to a movie, I just try to go see a movie, and I just try to watch this movie as a movie. And there's a lot of political stuff in it, but I think it plays on just the extremes of both sides. I think it does really good. I think it pleases both sides. I was thoroughly entertained throughout this entire movie. Will Ferrell's character was amazing. I mean, the comedy in this movie just was spot on.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this movie has so many funny moments. I want to go back and see it again, but those are our positives. Why don't we go into our negatives, though?
Negatives for me, the very opening act was a major, not very good. The very, very opening. It set the tone very bad. I started to eat I brought some York peppermint patties, and I started housing this. Start this movie. I'm like, this is going to be a rough one. But it started to get a lot better after that. And the stuff in the real world was not very good to me. All the stuff in Barbie Land pretty much was great. I mean, just from the set pieces to Just the dance sequences and the dialogue, for the most part, was done really well. But yeah, negatives were that very beginning, the real world stuff. And as you said, because it plays to the extremes of both sides in a lot of ways, I'm not going to say it's a negative because I will say it went a little too far in my opinion on a couple areas. But again, this movie was obviously not 100% made for someone like me. You know, like
I don't think we're the target audience.
We're not the target audience for this film. I mean, I've never played with a Barbie in my life.
I mean, I play with a lot of like action figures, and I mean, having a sister, you know,
we know of Barbie through Toy Story, which again, so that's really only our interaction with our knowledge of Barbie is from the Toy Story films. So to see this in this movie, it was obviously we're not the target audience, but so I'm not gonna give it a negative in certain areas for that because I was just willing to sit back and like, hey, this scene's not made for me right now, you know, and they gave us the scenes that were made for us, but. Yeah, and I think the comedy, pretty much, if I had to give a percentage-wise on what landed, what didn't, I'd go as far as to say 75% landed, 25% didn't.
Main negatives, pretty much it.
That's pretty much it for the negatives, as I'm thinking about right now. And then the ending was, the very beginning and the very end did not hit, but the stuff in the middle, some parts in the middle were done extremely well.
Yeah, negatives, it's hard to really put negatives on a lot of this movie because, like I said, they just are totally going over the top on purpose. At least that's what I think. And then the movie was like 10 minutes too long. You could have shaved off 10 minutes. Yeah. There's a point where I thought, okay, it could end right now. Okay, it could end. And it went for 10 minutes. But up to that point, I thought it was all really good. It started out really similar to the Alabama-Kansas State game. We basically spotted Barbie 10 points to start the game. Like, it started so bad in the beginning that I was like, oh, great, here we go. But it somehow got back to the level, got back and just soared away. And there's the undertones. Obviously, it's a Barbie movie. I mean, I expected feminist elements. I expected a very female power message. I expected that. So I'm not going in here stupid. I really don't have many negatives. Shave off a little time at the end, and that's pretty much it. I mean, the beginning scene was pretty stupid, but I mean, that's a very short part of the movie. So why don't we go to our final thoughts and score? Final thoughts and score.
Like I said, this is one of the hardest movies to review and give a score, in my opinion, just because of the extremes of the play they have on the extremes of both sides. And because of that...
Because was it woke? Like, can you say it was woke?
I would say yes, it was woke in certain ways. But it was
he's making fun of woke, too, though.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It was woke, but then it made fun of woke. And... It's such a fine line that was danced around both sides. It's like you get punched in one side in the gut, and then the other side, they freaking give you exactly what you want.
But
so
do you not feel like it's going back and forth? Like,
no,
kind of plays this side, that side. Yeah. Like, it's insane.
Because of that.
Honestly, Marley, come here.
Marley, come on.
Let us finish our review. Come here.
Overall, I think I have to give Barbie, as of right now, I gotta give it a
what are you gonna give it?
Give it a 7.5. It might be high.
It's lower than I thought, honestly. It's lower than I'm gonna give it.
I'm gonna go 7.5, but you know what?
Give it a
I'm gonna give it an 8 for right now. I'm gonna give Barbie an 8. We're gonna see it again. But it could go down to 7.5 after a second viewing.
This movie could fluctuate based on the weather. No, this movie had me laughing throughout. I really think that this movie was just made to just completely make fun of everything.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. There's moments where I just don't even know how to agree with this movie.
I think it's just like
there's parts I have not laughed this hard in a movie in a long time.
I also think we've seen so many woke things that we expect the worst, and at this point we're programmed to be able to just shake off certain things and just laugh at, like, we're able to enjoy movies that are not intended to be enjoyed for us, but we still enjoy.
Well, that's the thing about comedy in general. Like, you should be able to laugh at everyone's expense. That's what comedy is. And so this makes fun of so many elements, and it has obviously a girl power message. I mean, it's Barbie. I expected that.
100%. I give it an 8.
I think I'll give it an 8 out of 10 as well. This score, I kind of need time to think on this, because I was just thinking about it, talk to us. I actually would raise that score now, too. So at the end of the day, it's a score. It's not a blood oath to the freaking movie review gods.
It's always adjusted.
So I'll give this an 8 out of 10. I'd recommend you go see it. I thought it was thoroughly entertaining. Great characters. I mean, Will Ferrell, Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling and the Shang-Chi actor, I can't say his name.
Simu Liu.
Yeah, were just freaking phenomenal. I mean, I'm tempted to go back and see this again. I thought this movie was great.
Yeah.
I don't think it's woke. I think it makes fun of everyone. I enjoyed this movie.
Yeah. Well, and there's an action sequence that was
And Ken is
one of the best.
amazing.
Was it the best action sequence of the year? Oh, never mind.
That might be a better.
John Wick 4 was
That
this
might
year.
top the killer scene.
I wouldn't go that far. That was our non-spoiler review of Barbie. Definitely let us know in the comments what you think about this movie. And I definitely recommend go check it out if you want to have your thoughts on it. And hey, coming from someone that I thought was going to hate the film and not going to watch it at all, I just gave it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
And you know
I
what?
had no hope.
Because guess what? Yes, movies are kind of like art. I'm speaking like Henry Wu here from Jurassic World, Jurassic Park's universe. Like, it's art.
Spare me
Like,
the poetry.
You can.
In that gray area is art.
You can like a movie and enjoy things that are completely different and flip from another side, and you can still enjoy it.
It's just to show that our minds are not set going into a movie.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
totally determined.
And I was gonna say, I know I kind of made a comment ripping the kid actor that played the daughter of the one family. It's nothing against her as a person, because like I enjoyed her role in 65 with Adam Driver.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, guys, just want to throw that in there. Thanks for watching our non-spoiler review of Barbie, guys. I gave it an 8. Kenny gave it an 8 in honor of the Kens of this universe. And once again, shout out to Ryan Gosling and Simon Liu for their roles in this film.
Phenomenal.
A personal thank you then for making this movie. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.